Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you enjoyed your 4-day weekend. Our Lady of the Snows really came through for us. I am upstairs today with the homeroom 9C and 9D gentlemen. So welcome to Fireside Chats with Mr. O'Brien. As you can see the fire going. Barbie's dream house right here. The Apple TV hooked up that of course already went off. We'll take care of that in a minute. All right, and today what we want to do is we want to take a look at the Old Testament prophets. Just take a look at eBackpack. I changed a few things on eBackpack to accommodate the snow days. So as of right now, you guys should have turned in your timeline. I'll take a look at those this week. I'll have them back to you before February break, so you can definitely begin your project, which again is due March 24th. In terms of some quizzes and some homeworks, just take a look. I did change eBackpack last night to accommodate those changes, so just to kind of work with the snow day, or the snow days I should say. In there, Friday we will have the opportunity to go to the Sacrament of Reconciliation as a religion class. Even if you are to have gym, we would go to Reconciliation as a group to kind of prepare ourselves before Lent when we return from February recess. So I want to start with the prophets today. I want to take a look at them. We made a little bit of a summary sheet just to kind of put the prophets into perspective for you. So I want to take a look at the Old Testament prophets. So if you do go into eBackpack with me for a minute, if you go into eBackpack, I have the iBook open here, but if you do go into eBackpack for a minute here, all right, let's go back here for a second. All right. In eBackpack, I'm going to go through here in the iBook, but if you do look in eBackpack, we were able to make a prophet sheet. Okay, here's the Old Testament prophet sheet. This is what we're going to primarily work off of today. So if you go into your shared classes and groups, you'll see this sheet here that has many of the Old Testament prophets. In most of the classes, we did work a little bit on Elijah, and we did work a little bit on Elisha, but we want to do really these 8 names are really the important prophets. And the way we do it, this brings us up to about 700 BC. And after 700 BC, these prophets, especially Isaiah and Micah, those will prepare really for the Messiah. So we kind of want to look at those two as the last things going forward. So let's take a look in the iBook, and what we'll do is once you have this kind of a notability, we'll take a look here at at each of the prophets, which you can take some notes right on this sheet. So it might be kind of cool to throw this into notability, so you can take some notes right on this sheet. So let's take a look here. First, let's just review a couple things from Elijah. Okay, he preaches to the northern kingdom. Remember, Elijah and Elisha are the only two that preach to the north, which would be Israel, with its capital at Samaria. Its first king being Jeroboam, Solomon's advisor, which does not contain the bloodline to Jesus Christ. Really, all Amos as well, all right, but all the other prophets here, especially here with Jonah, Jeremiah, Isaiah, they would really preach to the south. So we would really focus on kind of a split halfway through. We have Elijah and Elisha primarily, and then Amos and Hosea also do preach to the north. Remember, that is the kingdom that does not contain the bloodline. So it's not as important for us because we're looking here at the Old Testament, the southern kingdom, the kingdom of Judah, which does contain the bloodline to Jesus Christ, which the descendants of really King David would follow through with Solomon, Rehoboam, so on and so forth. A lot of names that we don't necessarily have to know until we get to the Maccabees and then eventually to Jesus Christ at where BC and AD kind of change over. Just again, to the sub who's in here, I am sorry that you have to listen to me. Hopefully you're able to get some work done and listen to me, so I apologize for that. So again, Elijah, 3 main miracles: the drought. Okay, remember, water known for irrigation, also known for drinking, for bathing, a huge thing here. All right, the flour and the oil for the widow. raises the widow's son from the dead, which would be similar to Jesus in the New Testament with Jairus' daughter. Okay, the raising from the dead. Defeats the false god of Baal at the contest at Mount Carmel. Remember, brought by Jezebel through Ahab, and then had the large contest at Mount Carmel. And remember, one of the things that Elijah does that really makes the prophets of Baal upset is that he is able to then pour water on this burnt offering, on this sacrifice. And now it really makes sense as to why this was such a huge issue, is because there was such a drought going on in the land. So the prophets of Baal are not happy about that. Okay? Here's God calling him from the quiet whisper. Much different than the Moses situation. Okay, as you can see here, much different from the Moses situation. The burning bush. Okay, the Samuel being called in the middle of the night. Elijah just through a quiet whisper. Okay, and many of us, I think, our call from God is going to be more of that, through a person, through a song, through a prayer, even sometimes through a trial or a tragedy that brings us closer to God. Okay, eventually he's brought up to heaven in a fiery chariot. And we may also want to add here, we do see Elijah again at the transfiguration of Jesus in the New Testament. Him and Moses are there at the transfiguration. So we do know that Elijah is up in heaven in that fiery chariot when he's brought up. But he does have a successor right after, and that would be Elisha or Elisha. That is a man, that is a dude, okay? And Elisha, what we know about is he asks for and receives a double portion of the spirit of Elijah. Let me see if I can pull back up iBooks here for a second, okay, and kind of show you a couple of the quotes here of Elisha. These are your projects, by the way, just so you guys know, that are still in my iBooks.